What's up, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to this POV review by Autobahn. My name is Max, and today we are taking a look at another viewer's car. This is Martin's Renault Megane RS Trophy, the 275 edition of the RS Trophy. And Martin bought the car 10 days ago, and he thought, well, let's go to Autobahn and let's see what this thing can do. So today I'm going to show you around it. We'll take a look at the trophy parts of it and the spec of the car, of course, and then we'll take it for a drive towards the Autobahn for an Autobahn blast. Now, this is a 2015 car, so it's quite a late Megane RS Trophy, and this is sort of the midway between a regular 275 and the Trophy R, which is the record-breaking, Nürburgring record-breaking car. The front wheel drive, I think it was 7 minutes 54 seconds. This is a bit more suitable for daily driving, but also for track driving. So think like GT3 instead of GT3 RS instead of 911. So it's like the midway, very suitable for daily road use, but also for track driving, especially since this car has a very cool option, which is the Öhlins suspension upgrade. I don't know if I can show you guys anything, but it is a very cool adjustable suspension with like manual clicks, so 20 clicks at the front and 30 at the rear, if I'm not mistaken. And it's got composite springs and Öhlins dampers, and this is like a road and track suspension, so you can, you know, set it up for soft road or all the way to hard for track. This is like in the midway right now, so very cool option. And this is actually also the suspension from the Trophy R. Also, these 19-inch wheels for the Trophy. These are 235 tires at the front, and we've got upgraded brakes for the Trophy as well, so a better brake disc, better brake performance, but also lighter Brembo brakes, as you can see. The previous owner also did braided brake lines, and it's got Powerflex bushings all around. You also get this Trophy decal here in the light gray bumper part here. This is also specific to the Trophy. Megane 3 RS, I think it's still a handsome car. It's a 2015 car, as I said, but it came out like in 2000, what is it, 10? Something like that. So I think it held up quite well. You also get some Trophy decals here at the rear. Cool spec in this black. I like it because it's a bit more like an adult, a bit more grown-up hot hatch this way. Not like normally you see them in yellow a lot, which is also cool, but I think this is very good for a grown-up. And these are 235s as well. This is Michelin Pilot Sport 4S rubber. I think it came on Cup 2. Or maybe it was optionally available with Cup 2s as well, but that is really cool for track driving, of course. You also get an Akrapovic titanium exhaust with a bit of carbon here for the tip. And there it is. And you can also see part of the suspension there. Let me check. I hope you guys can see some of it there, but it is really good. It also sounds very good because of the exhaust. You get some pops sometimes, but it's not like over-engineered, so it's not over the top. Sometimes it just spits a little pop from the exhaust. And this is the engine. A 2-liter turbocharged 4-cylinder engine with 275 horsepower, which is 10 more than before. This goes for all the Meganes, so this is just like an update. Megane 275, 275 Trophy and Megane Trophy R. 360 newton meters of torque, and this was like back when all the manufacturers were battling and everyone was beating each other's front wheel drive record, like the Seat Leon Cupra, the Megane RS, Peugeot had the RCZR, and the 308 GTI. There were a lot of cars back then that were kind of battling. Golf GTI, Club Sport, of course. It was a good time for hot hatches. Öhlins sticker there as well. And we also have a little plaque that says this is number 1515 Apparently they made around 1600 trophies. So this is a very late model, and they made around 300 trophy R's. You also get these bucket seats, which are very good, these Recaros. And in the Trophy R, the bucket seats are even more aggressive, and you don't have a rear seat. The Trophy R is also 100 kilos lighter because of that, because you don't have a rear seat and stuff like that. No sound deadening, rear wiper delete. So that is like the proper hardcore version. This is like a, as I said, more in between track and road. Lovely Alcantara steering wheel. Nice thin rim as well, a little bit of carbon on the dash. And then we have the RS monitor, which is also pretty cool. Lovely dials as well, by the way. These gorgeous analog dials with that light gray rev counter. I think that's also for the Trophy. So I'll just start her up. And then we'll go to RS monitor, and you can see a lot of data in here. So the power curves, the engine curves, but also steering angle and data logger even. You can use a stopwatch. It has a GPS stopwatch as well, so I think you can load in GPS maps of tracks and it will automatically track your lap times. This is the maintenance for pads and tires and shock absorbers. Apparently these shock absorbers are they do need a service every 40,000 kilometers, and it costs like €1,000 per maintenance, but they are very, very, very good. So definitely recommend finding one with those Öhlins dampers. Temperatures, pressure, and then you've got some bar graphs for the performance, and G meter, of course. And you also have car setup here, where you can set up your shift light and your pedal map even. So if we go to sport mode, so RS button down there, you can set your pedal map to snow, progressive, linear, sport, or extreme, which is very cool because it does have a very like sporty throttle mapping. It's very aggressive, the pedal. So if you want a bit less, then it's very, very smart, this. I like it a lot. Also, it has a limited slip diff at the front, which is also very aggressive. So sometimes you might want to tone it down a little bit, because the diff really pulls you into a corner, to the apex basically. So if you put the pedal map in linear, it's a bit, you know, it's a bit better to be able to feather the throttle and to judge that, but I'm going to leave it in sport for now. All right, so let's go for a little drive and see what it feels like, because this, as I said, this was such a good time for hot hatches, and this always used to be kind of the big daddy of them all. It was also used a lot on track back then as well, for like track day companies. Always used to have Megane RS's. Pedals are also spaced nicely for heel and towing. It feels like this car was set up by people who really, really love to drive. The steering is nice and heavy, super beefy, tons of feel. Pedals are all very nice as well, quite aggressive, but that is like, the entire car feels very aggressive. Also the turn in, it is just so easy to judge this car, to judge what you need to do to determine your inputs, even though I'm driving this car for like 10 minutes and already I'm like, okay, yeah, I remember. You can just throw it around and it complies. It goes wherever you tell it to go, and it doesn't feel like a front wheel drive car most of the time, which is very nice. It also has this very recognizable sound, this like blowing sound that is a bit louder because you have the Akrapovic exhaust, but it still has that quintessential Megane RS blow through the exhaust. So let's do a little launchy launch. 6 seconds is the factory claim, I believe, but of course that's very hard to achieve. See, nice little pop from the exhaust there. And oh man, the under load, the diff is so aggressive and it moves the car around, which gives you this idea that that the car is so on edge, which is really great. Oh man, this is a very, very rewarding driving experience. It just, everything feels so good. Brakes as well. Already stock brakes, very good. It weighs like, I don't know, 1300 something kilos, I think. So even though of course a track or a B road is where this car shines, we're taking it on the Autobahn as well. Oh. Man. Oh, this is a good car. It feels beefy as well. I mean, power is perfectly fine for this car. Yes, you can tune it relatively easily. You can do like 300 horsepower. But I have to say, I quite like it this way because you can use all of the power. We did 15 seconds, 100 to 200, which is also quite okay. That's 240. It's very hard to explain why this car is so good. You can talk about, you know, cornering speeds or feel or pedal feel, steering feel, whatever, but that doesn't come across to you guys. The main thing about it is that it feels like it wants to go. It challenges you. It's almost tantalizing. It wants to go fast, which is super cool. So Martin is also thinking about doing track days with the car, and yeah, I mean, you really only have to put cup 2s and different brake pads on the car and you're there, which is just super cool. It also feels very like grown up. It's also on the Autobahn at high speeds, it's very stable. The suspension is just perfect. It's also the settings that Martin put it in are just spot on, really. As I said, you can twist it and make it even stiffer, or you can make it softer. But for this like mix of highway and B road, I would say this is pretty much spot on. So we drove this car a few times over the course of the last 14 years. The first time was 13 years ago, believe it or not, when the car came out. It was just so much fun back then even to drive, and to be able to drive it now, you know, a bone stock trophy, which is probably the best version of the Megane 3 RS, because, you know, the Trophy R might be more hardcore, but it's not very suitable for city driving or daily use. It holds up. It's still so good up until today. The car is now 9 or 10 years old, this particular one, but the 3 RS is much older, and it's still so good. It's much better than most of what they're making today. So yeah, thank you Martin so much for letting us have a go. Really appreciate it. Hope you enjoyed watching your car on our channel. To you guys, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it as well. You can subscribe by clicking the big button in the middle. You can also check out this video or this playlist. See you at the next one. Bye.